It is Wednesday, August 5th, 2026. Welcome into First Alert Weather Extra. I'm Chief Meteorologist Sam Argier alongside Tiffany Olin. Great to have you back.
Yes, happy to be here. We have some good news.
Yes.
To finally bring some people. It just takes a minute.
It does. We have actually, in the extended forecast, potentially temperatures below 100.
Yeah, that's some excitement right there.
Upper 90s never look so cool, I'll tell you what. But if you missed our last episode, Tiffany is our newest forecaster here on the Fox 5 First Alert Weather team. Been on the West Coast her whole life, in Fresno before here, so it's great to have her on the team. So we got heat to talk about still, Tiffany, and we've also got some heat relief to dive into. So let's show the last 30 days. We like to start with this, and this really tells the story. That red line is the average high, and we've been above it for most of the last month.
Yeah, we have spent actually most of it really above even 110. Luckily, we are trending closer to average as we go into the extended forecast, but for the foreseeable future and this coming week, we are still going to be above 100 degrees across the region.
Yeah, and you look at that blue line as well. That's the average low. I mean, you can see how much above that we're also, and that's been playing a big part in why we've been under this extreme heat warning for so long. We've been talking about this for a good 2.5 weeks now. I mean, I'm frankly tired of this magenta map. I think a lot of people are, but we have a few more days to go now through Sunday. That's the biggest change.
Yes, it has just continued to get extended, but it does appear that Sunday will be the end of it as we get a bit more moisture, but of course we still have those pretty warm morning lows as well.
Yeah, and temperatures still will be north of 110 for most neighborhoods going forward the next few days, and we're going to add in a little more humidity the next few days. So it's been a very dry heat this week, but you add in just a little bit of humidity, and for us in southern Nevada, just because we see such dry air most of the year, it doesn't take much to really notice the humidity. So we do want to point that out because it makes it even harder to really cool off when you have that added humidity as well.
And then people trying to cool off, going to those higher elevations, still going to be affected by a heat advisory there. So high temperatures are expected to be in the upper 80s, low 90s. That's been the case all week long. This is also extended through Sunday evening as well.
But as we alluded to, some relief in sight, and here we go. I'll let you do the honors, Tiffany, because we're finally seeing this drop off as we go into next week.
You just have to get through another very hot weekend. 113 is the expected high for Saturday, and we are just near record temperatures over the next couple of days. But you do have the following Saturday to hang on to with 98 degrees possible as your afternoon high. That looks a whole lot better than that 113.
Oof. I will take it, and it's going to come with a little more humidity next week, definitely looking at more moisture coming on in, and it's monsoon season, and we've been talking about this quite a bit here on First Alert Weather Extra, but the monsoon is a simple reversal of the wind this time of year. Instead of the wind coming off the Pacific Ocean like it does most of the year, during the summer months, especially July, August into September here in southern Nevada, we get a little more of a southerly wind, and that can bring in the moisture. Now today, showers really focused down to the south over Arizona. I'm expecting a little more development with some thunderstorm activity into Arizona as we continue to heat things up. But this is a future track, and you can really see that humidity south of us for now, but that's what's changing. Yeah,
you want the dry heat for now. That's what we're used to. But then as we go into the end of this week, you can notice that humidity is going to move into our region, does increase our chances just slightly for some afternoon thunderstorms, but you are going to get some muggier conditions on top of that.
Yeah, and this is the good old muggy meter, we like to call it, looking at the humidity levels, and you can definitely see a little spike there on Thursday. So I think you will notice, especially again coming off the very dry air we've had in place here the last few days, Thursday we are looking at an uptick in that humidity. That will spell some mountain shower and storm chances. We'll show you in just a second, but you can kind of see the humidity levels kind of teetering in that slightly humid to a little bit on the muggy side. Now, of course, if you're from Florida or the Gulf Coast, you might be laughing at us calling this muggy, but for, again, us in southern Nevada, some higher humidity readings.
Yeah, if you're used to humidity, you think that this is a dry heat still, but for us used to the dry heat, it is going to be a difference from what we're used to.
Absolutely. So, of course, that humidity, think of it as fuel to get some pop-up showers and storms going. You add in that humidity and you get the heating of the day. And here we go. This is going to be Thursday afternoon. Now, the mountains favored, and we call that orographic lift. When this moisture comes in, usually the mountains see the storms first with the heating of the day. So you'll notice those cumulus clouds bubbling up over the mountains. And as we head into Thursday afternoon, certainly not widespread rain, Tiffany, but a few scattered showers out there.
Yeah, you'll notice it off in the distance. We really don't have the chance to see it into the valley on Thursday, but once we head into Friday, we see a bit more cloud coverage and even a couple chances to see some storms come into the valley.
Yeah, we're looking at a little bit better development on Friday, that potential, so you can kind of see that red and orange focused up over Mount Charleston, Lee Canyon area. Could certainly get some thunderstorms up there. And, the thing we watch is the outflow wind. A lot of times thunderstorms that fire up over Arizona, as they collapse or kind of fall apart, you can see a strong gusty wind come out of them. And that can often spark new showers and storms away from those storms here in southern Nevada. So certainly not expecting widespread rain. And we were talking about this as we were putting together the forecast today. No day looking like a washout. And this time of year, a lot of people, we want the rain. You want to get a break from the heat. But the nature with the rain this time of year is it's often very scattered in nature, meaning some neighborhoods will see it, others stay completely dry, and really that's how it's going to be playing out starting this weekend and even continuing through much of next week.
Yeah, much of next week we're looking at the slight chance for us to see those pop-up thunderstorms throughout the valley, but again, very small chances where that we're holding on hope for, and we will see that moisture move in as we head into this weekend.
Yep. So here's the calendar. A lot going on. We'll take it full screen. We got the first alert out through Sunday, again, because of that extreme heat warning. As we just stepped you through, mountain storm chance Thursday. A little bit better opportunity at seeing a stray shower or storm drifting off the mountains Friday, and then again on Sunday. And then Monday, back to school. Students in the Clark County School District getting back to school. And just about every day, we're going to have that chance for some pop-up storms.
Yeah, and we are going to feel a bit muggier as well, so students are going to feel a bit stickier than usual when you welcome them back home, when you pick them up after school. I know the first day of school is always a big one, so just keep in mind slight thunderstorm chances, and it is still going to be above 100 degrees.
Yep, and we also are going to be, I like to focus on the 13th, 14th, 15th, that lower temperatures, because we are looking at, as you saw on that 10-day forecast, potential even for some upper 90s by Saturday. That would be August 15th. So still more than a week out on it. We'll keep a close eye on it, but 7-day forecast, still lots of heat through Sunday. Again, that extreme heat warning extended through Sunday. Overnight lows in the upper 80s. And again, keep in mind, with that little bit added humidity, we'll start to feel Thursday. Even just a little bit of humidity can make it a lot harder to cool down. So all the things we talk about, staying hydrated, finding the AC, want to keep that top of mind.
If you do need to go outdoors, you need to do it before we see peak heat. So that's as early as you can. Those morning lows come and go very quickly, and they're really not very low at all. So you wake up 88 degrees, likely close to that 6, 7 o'clock hour. You need to get up very early, even possibly sometimes before the sun, because that just continues to heat you up even more. Finding that shade and air conditioning is your best bet to stay cool.
Yep, and the one thing I think you may notice if you're an early riser especially, and there's a lot of people, I've been taking my daughter to cheer practice very early in the morning, so I do see people walking, getting out early. You can still do it early, especially if you want to get out around daybreak. But the one thing you'll notice is overnight low temperatures. We've been kind of hovering in the mid to low 80s around the valley just because we've been so dry the past few days. The one thing I want to mention is that we'll see a little more of that humidity we talked about. Humidity overnight actually keeps overnight temperatures elevated a little more. So if you're, again, an early riser getting out the door very early in the morning, low temperatures are going to kind of struggle to even get below 90 by Saturday and Sunday morning. So just something, again, to be mindful of with that added humidity out there with the heat. This is why the Weather Service did extend that extreme heat warning now through the weekend, through Sunday. But we're pretty confident they're going to be able to put it to bed next week. We can see the temperature trend there trailing off.
I don't think I've ever seen 104 look so good on a forecast. 104 sounds a lot better than the 113 we have on Saturday. That's a 10-degree difference within 5 days, and then we could drop even more as we head into the extended forecast, as we mentioned, that next Saturday with possible high 90s as your highs.
I'm all about it. I'm ready. I'll take the humidity if we can shave off 10 degrees off the temperature. And, you know, hopefully we'll get some showers and thunderstorms here. You know, that's the one feedback we hear a lot from viewers this time of year is, you said rain was in the forecast. I didn't see anything. I haven't seen anything. I get it. I totally get it. I love to see the rain too. Just the nature of the rain this time of year. That's how thunderstorms are. You know, it's impossible to tell you exactly where a thunderstorm is going to set up a day before, even 6 hours before. You really, thunderstorms are one of those things you have to just keep an eye on the radar. We see the setup, which is why we have that chance in the forecast going into the weekend. But nobody can tell you exactly where the storms will set up. Now, of course, we can tell that the mountains will be favored because of the higher elevations. But when it comes to, you know, them drifting into the Las Vegas Valley and telling you exactly where they'll be, that's why you got to keep an eye on the radar and also download the Fox 5 weather app.
Yes,
Great
and we've given you that first alert to be aware. You could start to see those pop-up thunderstorms over the mountains Thursday, even the possibility of a valley storm on Friday. And then once we get closer to it, we'll have a better idea of where those start to set up.
Yep, and we will be all over at Tiffany and I through the afternoon and evening. And across the country, there's been a lot of weather going on as well, flooding back east and also big wildfires up in the Pacific Northwest. Air quality still really, really bad up there. Here's a story on a little wrap of the weather around the country.
Nothing is burning here. It does have kind of a otherworldly feeling. It feels apocalyptic.
As major wildfires tear through eastern Washington, smoke from the fires is impacting communities on the other side of the state.
There's nothing you can do about it except for follow the recommendations and take care of yourselves.
The Spokane County fires are among 17 major fires burning across Washington. Wildfires also burning to the south in Oregon and even further south. In Northern California, the Gann fire, which started Monday, has burned through thousands of acres and prompted evacuations.
I only packed enough food for the horses for like a day because I'm like, oh, we'll be back tomorrow. I don't think that's going to happen.
Also in the western U.S., severe weather forced nearly 24 flights bound for Denver to divert to Colorado Springs Monday night.
What types of aircraft went around? Did you say it was for wind shear or microburst? It is wind shear.
5 people were injured by turbulence. The airport confirmed Colorado Springs Fire Department personnel provided medical assistance, with 1 person hospitalized in stable condition. Meanwhile, in the east, high water on Tuesday, heavy flooding hitting Norfolk, Virginia. The National Weather Service issued a flash flood warning, describing the weather as dangerous and life-threatening. In one incident, a motorist was seen being rescued from a partially submerged vehicle. I'm Reed Binion reporting.
All right, we see that video that was in Virginia, some of that flash flooding there. A good reminder, and you know, with the monsoon, even though we talked about this not being widespread rain, when we see a thunderstorm set up, it can drop a lot of rain in a very short period of time. So flash flooding, even though we have not seen a lot of it this season, something you always want to be mindful of during monsoon. We always say, turn around, don't drown.
Yeah, you see any amount of water on the road, you want to turn around. Don't even try to drive through it. You don't know what's underneath it. Could be very damaging to you and your vehicle.
Absolutely. And so we'll keep an eye on those storms. Here's another big part of our story, of course, the big fires you saw in that video up in the Pacific Northwest and Northern California. But Tiffany, we still got a few fires up to the north of us. We'll take it full. There we go. Still burning, but reaching a bit better containment. Yeah, containment is increasing on the Quail Springs fire, whereas the Mouse Meadow fire, we are still going to be a bit impacted by it out in Lincoln and Nye counties. Clark County, though, you are looking a bit better, not seeing a whole lot of haze and smoke through the region. So that's what you notice, that some light blues, that's a very light haze, really not impactful. The more impact is focused out toward where we see those reds, oranges, purples. Luckily, we don't have that in our region right now. Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, generally, it's not always the case, but it's often the case just because the flow is usually kind of out of the south this time of year. It's California wildfires in Southern California that we typically will see some more smoke from. But right now, just because those fires are just north of the valley, that smoke's been going up to the north. Yeah, and same with the Pacific Northwest fires. We're not getting a whole lot of impact from that, but their air quality is really impacted and will continue to be so until they get a bit more of a handle on those fires. Absolutely, and a lot of people, especially that want to get out of the heat here in southern Nevada, do take trips up in the Pacific Northwest this time of year. So up in Portland, Seattle, Spokane just hit so hard. Just a tragic situation up there. Neighborhoods that have been really affected by these fires. So we're continuing to monitor that, but we got some heat relief that Tiffany and I just talked you through, and we'll be talking about the potential for some of those pop-up showers and storms.
Yes, we're holding out that hope, and some cooler temperatures are on the horizon.
That is right. Well, that'll be a wrap for First Alert Weather Extra. This is our digital streaming show. It streams exclusively on fox5vegas.com. You can also find it on our digital channel, Fox 5 Vegas Plus. We got it on Roku, Apple TV, Amazon Fire TV, so check it out there as well. Tiffany, always a pleasure.
Yes, thank you.
And we'll see you back here next time on First Alert Weather Extra.